Hey guys, welcome to another episode of He Said,
She Said
with Josh
and Roz.
Hi, well, welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back. This week we got some fun. We got some fun this time.
I'm excited. We have our first special guest.
Hey, go ahead and say hello to Marcilla.
Hey, y'all.
Now, Marcilla has her own business, and this week we're starting the new business series, and it's called Think Like an Entrepreneur.
Yes.
So we want to go ahead and dive deep into like how to start your business, what it is about business that you love, and just kind of really dive deep and talk about especially black startups because we're black. And we like black business. We support black business. Not that we don't support anybody else. We just really support black business.
And I think also we want to provide an opportunity for people to get different perspectives about business and how to start and what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So that maybe you can, take that and apply it in your own situation.
Right. That's good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Marcilla. Let's introduce Marcilla. Marcilla, go ahead and tell us about yourself and just let the people know who you are, what you got going on.
Well, hello, listeners. My name is Marcilla. I am affectionately called Mercy by those who love me. Lord have mercy to those of you all on Instagram.
Hey. Follow.
And, I am Josh and Roz's other cousin, the baby cousin.
Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family.
Yes. And, so I started an organization. We are a public health organization called Black Health. That is BLKHLTH.
Nice.
Organization I started with 3 of my friends from graduate school. It really just kind of like most businesses, things that just start out of necessity. You see a need and we aim to fill a gap.
Nice.
So was this something, I know you said you started with your friends, but kind of talk us through like how did that conversation go about? Like, were you all just kind of sitting at a friend's house one night and you guys like, you know what, we need to be about black health.
Yeah, like what?
We need to start coming right now. Like, how did you all kind of get to that place where you like, this is something we need to do?
Well, it kind of first started, honestly, just we were all a part of this club in school called the Association for Black Public Health Students. And so we all had these sweatshirts made for like all the members of the club that said Black Health Matters. And so the 4 of us got together and we were just like, hey, like, people really love these sweatshirts. They keep asking us, what does it mean? Like, we should just like buy a whole bunch of them and sell them because we're broke grad students and we need some money.
Right.
So honestly, it really just started with us just trying to make some extra cash to just get through our last year of grad school. But people would buy the sweatshirts and then see us wearing them and people just started asking us like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And that prompted us to ask ourselves like, what does this mean? And then one day we were all at our friend Paula, who was one of the co-founders' apartment, and we just kind of sat there and talked about how we see stuff in school all the time, how black people are dying faster, we get disease. We're more likely, even if we're diagnosed, we're more likely to die. We're more likely to not receive treatment. And it's just all these different barriers that prevent us from having good health outcomes. And so we wanted to be a part of the solution.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because we felt like, hey, we're dying, but no one's really doing anything. And why should we have to wait to start a corporate job or work in the government to feel like we can make a difference? Like at this point, we said, hey, we're all professionals. We all have advanced level degrees. Like this is what we went to school for.
Right.
So
that was what you were like passionate about. That was your passion that kind of drove you
to
get started. Because that's what I was going to say.
That's amazing.
It's like really what were the steps that you guys took to kind of incorporate yourselves and really just say, hey, now that it's an idea, how do we get started and like make it official?
So we just started having brainstorming sessions, really. So we would, again, meet up at the apartment. So, and just brainstorm. We got flip chart paper and we said, okay, like, what do we need first? We need a mission. We need a vision. What are our values? What do we want? Like, what do we want to do? How do we feel? What do we feel is missing in our community? and what are things that we can do to address these gaps. So we figured, hey, I really don't see a lot of health education. A lot of things center around people just not even being aware of different things.
Self-awareness.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Health awareness.
Health awareness. I like it.
I love
Get a little spin.
That's free. You can have it.
New t-shirts coming out.
Right.
Blackhealth.com.
How long did it take you guys to get started from like the ideas and the brainstorms to like actually
forming? It took us a few months because we just were like, okay, we have a mission, we have a vision, we have a name. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get an LLC.
Nice.
Were you all at all nervous about like, well, what are we really going to do? Like, are we going to really have any impact?
Yeah, very. I mean, even still now, it's still every day. Like, oh my gosh, are people going to like us? Are people going to understand, what we're doing? But I think you just have to be confident in what you are bringing to the table because, I mean, there's a million people probably doing something similar, but like we're doing something different.
Exactly.
Because, there are great nonprofit organizations that do work in the field of Black health, but I haven't seen an organization doing the work that we do.
That's beautiful.
And so that was our whole approach, was taking things, not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but making improvements to the wheel. So
I like that. I'm glad you said that because I know in my own experience about being an entrepreneur, the biggest thing has been that fear of, well, how am I going to find my own place in the market? Everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. So it's good that you say that. And for our listeners, that's a great point for them as well to not worry about what everyone else is already doing, that what you're doing is enough and it's great, and you just have to go for it. Right. Just believe in yourself, have that confidence.
Exactly. Confidence. That's all I said. Yeah. That's another one.
Another show coming.
I was about to say, that's a good one because literally.
Confidence is truly key.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to learn confidence. I mean, because honestly.
Learning it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, you still get nervous, but still something drives you to stay bold and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, for us, a lot of our assurance comes in from, so we launched our website and we had a launch event, and to really get people excited about, what we were doing and just telling them about who we were and, what we want to bring to our community. And so that kind of getting feedback from that, people telling us like, oh my God, this is just so great what y'all are doing, and this is such a need, and we're like, okay, so people get it, so that kind of builds your confidence. But then, like with any business, like you're going to fail, like that's inevitable. So absolutely. I think that's one thing to really, like if you're considering, you can't be afraid of failure because it's going to happen. Like there have been so many things, like so many projects and stuff that we've started and been super excited about, and then it just falls through for various reasons. And I mean, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you or your business, but sometimes things aren't just meant to be.
That's true.
But then
that's right.
Something better comes along and you're like, oh, okay, so this is why this didn't work. And then if you do something and it fails, that's a learning lesson. So, early on when we were doing our first events, there were things that happened and we're like, ooh, that was bad, y'all. But then kind it's like, okay. Back to the drawing board, okay?
Right.
And like now with our events, like we have a flow. Like it takes us, before, when we were putting our first health education events together, it would take us months to plan. Now we can put an event together in 4 weeks.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And we have a template, and we also meet regularly as a team. We have weekly meetings as a team. We do text check-ins. We do video calls. And I think...
So staying consistent.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined.
Definitely.
Because nothing is just going to come to you. You have to go out there and get it.
That's so true.
That's right.
You can't just be stagnant and hoping that someone gives you an opportunity or someone notices you, and that's kind of another reason why we created our organization, because we were all looking for jobs. And, you know, they're cool, but
why not create it? Create your own job.
Create your own way.
See anything that I would like makes me get excited about going to work every day.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, well, why do we have to wait for someone to hand us our dream job when we can literally create our dream job?
There's a word.
Come on, somebody. She preaching over here.
In the name.
In the name.
Well, to go back to what you said, too, I mean, literally what you were talking about, how certain things weren't working out. I believe strongly that what's for me is for me. It'll happen naturally.
I tell people that all the time. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really, if you see yourself forcing something, then you probably need to that's like an alert to say stop.
Right.
And let's just let it be. And then the like you said, something better came along, and then you're able to, you know, see that it just happened.
And I think too, people miss their opportunity because they're focused on looking at other people, saying, well, it's working for them, but not realizing that the timing is also important.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, it's everything. So it may not be your time for your business to kick off or for you to get to a certain level.
And you only see people's success. People don't broadcast.
Oh, they don't talk about the failure or the grind. They don't talk about the grind.
Come on.
Exactly.
That grind is hard.
It's hard.
You don't see the hard work that people have been putting in for years.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
People find out about Black Health this year in 2019, but we've been doing this since 2016.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like a overnight, like, oh, y'all just got lit. Like, no.
We've been doing this.
We've been putting in hours.
Wow.
Hours for years now. And we still do. And I mean, we have a team member in DC now. One of our team members is moving to South Africa.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, you know, we're about to have to, we're growing, but now that also kind of complicates things because where we used to have the whole team here in Atlanta, now we have Team International of the East Coast. And so now we're having to, you know, go back to the drawing board also to figure out, okay, like now how are we going to operate as an organization? You know, with basically only 2 members in Atlanta now. And so that's also like you always have to improve. You can't just get to, okay, we hit this success and we're cool. Like, no, there's always constant improvement, constant changes that have to be made, constant growth. When we first started our organization, we had a different mission, we had different values, we had different services of what we thought our organization was going to look like. And as we've grown, it's like we've had to change it. Like, you know, we said we were going to do this, but as we've progressed as an organization, we actually not even doing that, but we're doing this really well. So let's take the things that we do well, make those standard. So that, again, that doesn't take too much time for us to put that stuff together. And then that way we can dedicate more energy to other areas that we want to build up.
That's amazing.
Great.
I got to give y'all kudos because we went to the last event, me and Roz, and we checked out the.
And I
it was
actually
just amazing.
That was my next question was going to be: can you just kind of tell us about some of your events and things that you all are doing? Because I know we've talked about like around about what you do, but kind of just elaborate on what specifically you've done so far and any, you know, things you have upcoming.
So Black Health is an organization that was created to basically educate, engage, and empower the Black community in matters of our health and wellness. So when we were creating the organization, we were like, what do people need? So we said Black people need access to reliable health information. So we said, okay, let's create a website, a landing page where you can go to our website and find out about all things related to Black health. Beautiful. You can rely on that information to be accurate and based in fact and not fiction or opinion. So in addition to our website, we said, okay, we need information in our community. So these are the community events that we put together that you all came to. Our last one, which is around reproductive health and justice.
Which was amazing.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I'm so glad. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people, every time they come to these events, everybody walks away learning something. Even us, like the professionals that we invite to come, because we invite experts in the field, physicians, advocates, policy people, like anything that relates to that topic area, and we bring them in and they learn from the community because they go back to their offices and their, you know, practices, and they can say, hey, you know, like these community members were saying that they feel like they don't feel comfortable talking to their doctors. So what can I do as a physician to make myself more open and approachable to have conversations with
That's
my
amazing.
patients?
Yeah, that's great. Now, what's the name of this series that you all do?
The series that you all went to is called Ask a Doctor.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we put that in the name, like you're there.